What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case, and you're now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is December 12th, 2023, and I'm here with my co-hosts as usual, Jude A. Jackson and Kevin A. Lewis. Jude, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Hope things are going well. Eventful week as always. We're happy to have Case back. I'm happy, at least.
I thought we told you to burn that hat, man.
Oh,
Legit.
yeah.
Legit.
It's here.
The hat stinks. Why is it here still?
It's a Mets hat. I represent the Mets.
Listen, the Mets are what they are, but the hat objectively stinks. Like it stinks.
The hat stinks worse than the Mets. That's
I was gonna say it. I think the Mets have some hope. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna be the guy to say it. The Mets have some hope, but that hat does not. That hat has no hope. It stinks.
Don't worry, I'll be going to City Field. Get some new hats.
Find a place and burn it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Have a funeral for that hat.
Burn it. No. It's not worthy of a funeral. Just burn it. Burn it. Walk away. Boom. Done.
That's also true. Kev, with the good hats, what's going on, Kev?
Hey, shit, man. Just trying to get this podcast recorded tonight. Nothing extraordinary. Juan Soto is a Yankee, in case anybody has been living in a cave for the last 10 days. He's a Yankee. His little Zoom conference was today, and it was touching. It was emotional. It was beautiful. No, it really wasn't. But Soto's a Yankee. That's the touching part. God damn it.
Soto definitely is a Yankee. Good acquisition by the Yankees. We're gonna get into this a little more baseball a little bit later. Speaking of hats, make sure you shop at dadsacool2.com.
We leading off here.
We jumping right off into it. dadsacool2.com.
For the bad bitchery I see.
Promo code MIPod69. You get yourself a brand new Dads Are Cool hat. That's dadsacool2.com.
You want to be a bad bitch like Case? go buy stuff from Dads Are Cool.
If you want to get flown out too.
Hold on.
Flown out like.
That's the look. That's the look that got me here.
Distance is crazy.
That's the look that got me here. That's what got me. But yeah, make sure you go shop dadsacool2.com. Promo code MIPod69. Get 10% off. And also, before we start, make sure you click that like, you click that share, subscribe to Middle Initial Podcast on all social media platforms. Well, all platforms, I should say, but on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, MIPod69. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at middle_initial_pod on TikTok. Make sure you follow the gang, of course, Kevin A. Lewis, Kelly W24, and Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it. Bill Belichick is no longer a new England Patriot coach. Breaking news, breaking Bill. It just broke out today that Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, I don't know if it's a mutual decision to decide to part ways, but it's been told that they made a decision about a couple of months ago when they're out there in Germany, losing to the Colts. I think it was their first loss in international play. I think they were like undefeated, right? They were like 3-0 internationally or something like that. It was some obscure,
you got that one. I don't know.
Yeah, some obscure stat that they had lost, international, whatever. But yeah, they made it. So that decision, comes to surprise. The decision was made months ago, and we're just talking about it now. So especially over that game, I don't know if it's over that game, particularly if that was the last straw, but. I'm gonna pass this on to Kev because I know he has a lot of questions for Jude in the true test. So go ahead, Kev.
First of all, rest in peace to this whole era. Everything yes. I just want to make something clear here going forward. I'm finished with the Jets for now. Maybe I'll come back 8 years from now, 4 years from now, 20 years from now. Who knows? As of now, I'm done with them. But just a general statement with regards to anything I say about any other teams in the AFC East from here on out. Love dies. Hate never does. Damn. So it's still fuck New England, it's still fuck Miami, and it's still fuck Buffalo. Damn. Fuck the Jets too, but for very different reasons. now that that's out the way, just wanted to make myself clear and get that off my chest and in the air. As far as Bill Belichick, the job that he's done this year, it's just funny that we have landed here because Jude praises that man for everything from taking his first breath in the morning to tying his shoes to whatever you could think of. Jude will praise this man for. He was praising this man for winning a game last week. First of all, the Patriots had won one game before that, correct, or two? There was one. I think they have 3 wins.
They have 3 wins now.
Yeah,
3 wins now.
So they had 2 wins before this, and Jude is praising Bill Belichick for beating, quite frankly, a bullshit team. Starting Mitch Trubisky on Thursday Night Football on 3 days rest, and Jude was like, "That's a real coaching job." And then the Patriots were like, "No, it's not. We're getting this guy out of here. I don't know what real coaching job you're talking about." But I will. I don't have a lot to say about the fuck Bill Belichick. I don't have a lot to add here. I would like to ask Jude a question. Hi, Jude. This is Kevin Lewis from the Middle Initial Podcast. I'm here to ask you, what would you feel about a Week 18 win and sending Bill Belichick off with a loss? How would that make you feel?
Very happy. Fuck that guy. Get him out. Finally erase that curse.
Even if it costs the Jets draft positioning, that's what you want.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? What makes it? What would make that win so special?
You send him off of the law after all the shit he's done to the Jets, everything he's done. You just send him off with a loss. It might not mean much. It probably won't mean anything, but it's just a nice feeling to get him the fuck out of here with a loss after all the pain, the suffering, the turmoil, the disrespect.
You sound like Mary J. Blige right now. No more pain. No more pain. Like all the pain.
The pain, suffering, disrespect, running up the score.
What pain? Most of Belichick's era, the Jets have spent being fucking sorry. What pain are you talking about?
There were some. I mean,
a lot of them were self-inflicted.
What pain? The Jets have paid to play in the playoffs. What, twice?
Yes.
And the Jets beat them once. So the Jets hit probably. I mean, Tom Brady himself said it was the worst loss of his career. Which, do with that information whatever you will. Yeah. So what pain did he inflict? What the Patriots were in 12 teams twice was so hard to bear? Was so painful?
So there were some triggering games. There was the Buff Fumble game. There was the seeing ghost.
The Jets sucked that game. What was the next one?
Seeing ghost. Sam Darnold seeing ghost.
That team sucked too. Keep going.
There were a couple of games in 2000. Well, let's see, 2012, the Stephen Hill game. I thought the Jets would win that game.
Okay, keep going.
Let's see.
What good Jets team did the Patriots derail?
None of them really.
I don't like 06, and that team wasn't even that good. That team was average, and they rightfully went to Foxborough and got fucking whacked in the playoff game. So,
pretty much. I mean, I can't think of any good Jets. I mean, maybe 2010 because if they beat the Patriots, they get a first round bye. But that's about. I mean, they beat the Patriots.
They beat them. They beat the ass in the playoffs anyway. What are you talking about?
But it was still 42-3. That's a triggering score. You thought that.
Why would that be triggering when they got their lick back and then some in the playoffs like 2 months later? Why would that be triggering?
That's fair.
That was a bad loss, but I mean,
it was awful. I was in a bar with dollar beers. I don't know how I got home. Oh my god, I don't know how I got home. I don't remember nothing happened after. I remember Sanchez hit. I forget what was Brandon Spikes. I feel like Sanchez hit him directly in the chest. Yeah. And buddy, that was the middle of the second quarter. Don't ask me what happened the rest of the game. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Bill is gone. Given that he is your favorite coach, Jude, how are you dealing with? I mean, then again, he's not retiring. So, when he takes the Chargers job, or excuse me, sorry, whatever other job, you can latch on to them and overpraise Bill Belichick for everything when he's there too. But how does it make you feel that the Patriots are giving up on such an icon? How does it make you feel?
Well, I mean, every relationship has its course. The Eagles did this with Andy Reid. Patriots are going to do it with Bill Belichick. It happens. Do
you think they're making a mistake?
No, they're not. His time's run its course. We've seen what happened with Mac Jones. We've seen what happened with Bailey Zappi. They're not good.
He's Bill Belichick. He's the author of the True Test. What do you mean? What do you mean that it's
You were
cool?
just singing his praises in the Discord about that's a true coach. So I'm
Legit.
surprised.
I'm not making. Like, we're not making this up. Like, legitimate.
He is a true coach, but he's not a true GM. So he's sabotaging himself. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe that's something he'll have to explore later in his life. But he sabotaged himself to win more games. And honestly, his impact of the game won't go unnoticed. That's all I'm saying. And I will also say, there was one other thing I wanted to say. Yeah, True Test, all that stuff. That's what he is. I once had a dream. I'm phrasing like Martin Luther King for some reason, but I had a dream that I was just talking with Bill Belichick. And it was just the most insightful conversation ever. We were just talking some ball. He was very charismatic. I was like, wow, this guy's great. He'll be a great podcaster. It was beautiful. I almost cried during that. I was like, wow.
First of all, I would like to formally apologize to our listeners for that NSFW doing tricks on it portion of the podcast. I'd like to sincerely apologize. We did that was not planned. His thoughts do not reflect any of Andrew or my thoughts. Thank you.
He said he once had a dream. Like he didn't just have that dream last week.
Bro.
What is this? I once had a dream. You literally told us you had a dream last week. Dude. What's this once had? Don't make it seem like this was something that happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Negro, that was last week, and we clowned the shit out of you for the majority of the day.
It was insightful. He was just like charismatic.
It wasn't real. It wasn't real. Like, is he dead? Did he come to you in a vision? Moses?
Is
he a burning bush?
What was he saying? I don't know why I'm asking that. But what was he saying, bro? Go ahead.
I forgot. So whatever it was.
So it was insightful, but you forgot?
It was insightful.
Whose man's is this, bro?
I forgot.
It was insightful and beautiful, but you forgot. Like what?
Oh god!
The overall theme of the dream, it was just, hey, he could be a charismatic guy. Once he gets into podcasting, or once he gets into the TV show,
it was a dream, Jude. It's not real. How are you making this man's career based off a dream? Now, I mean, now, granted, you did follow up by watching him speak on college today or whatever. Because he put on the old Navy helmet and said whatever. Like, you say he's a charismatic guy. I think Bill Belichick is boring as hell, and he's like watching paint dry. I really don't care.
Think Bill gives us the boring. I don't think he's boring. I think he gives us the boring. So.
If he's an exciting dude in real life, and he has luau's at his crib, and he wears Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that, there's a picture of him. Isn't there a picture of him like shirtless? In like a yard with a beer or something like that. There's some picture of him
probably.
Listen,
probably.
This man right here. Fuck this guy. Okay. Bill Belichick is the reason why I have issues today. What could have been was Bill Belichick was going to take over the reins in New York, take over from Bill Parcells, and continue a legacy of football. Mm-hmm. He told us, nah. In a shortly succinct facts or sticky note, however story goes, he told us, nah, I'm good. He goes to the Patriots. He wasn't successful right away. The Mo Lewis game, he damn near kills Drew Bledsoe. Brady comes in, and the rest is fucking history. Mm-hmm. His coaching tree is terrible outside of maybe a couple of names. And even that's kind of like, sliding. His legacy is intact. I think he has a total of 8 rings in total in his lifetime. It's like I think he had 2 with the Giants. I think he was an assistant with the Giants, and he has 6 as a head coach. He's a legend. He may not get the all-time wins thing, depending on where he lands as a head coach. I'm not too sure. Listen, I don't know how Bill Belichick personally is going to handle the report. I mean, I don't think ESPN even dropped an alert yet to say that it was like confirmed. I didn't see anything yet. Yeah. Maybe an ESPN alert, which was kind of bugged out because I'm seeing it everywhere, but not like a breaking news thing. But he's had a hell of a career. despite being a bad GM, he did manage to win. Well, a bad GM in the latter part of his career. He did manage to win that last ring with Tom and everything like that. Listen, I hope he retires, but like Kev said, he's not going to. I don't know what the next step is. There's going to be a lot of vacancies next season. I don't know if he's going to do like the Harbaugh thing, like I have to be a GM, or he's going to be willing to be under someone. And I don't know who gives him that type of position either. Like I don't know which team says, all right, listen, you're going to run the show. If I were to guess, but they're no longer a part of the equation, I would have said if this was a Daniel Snyder ran Commanders team, right. He basically gave the keys to Joe Gibbs, for whatever reason. If he was around, he was available, I think that would happen. I don't think any team in their right mind is giving Bill Belichick the keys to the ship. Especially Commanders, new ownership, stuff like that. I don't think so. But I mean,
what if the Jets did?
Oh my goodness gracious! Wouldn't that be something? Belichick and Ron.
If Bill came in to right wrongs,
they get Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh out of here, and they give Bill the GM role and the head coach role. What would you guys think?
I would. Well, good.
I might faint at the possibility. Bill Belichick and Aaron Rodgers.
Do I have to apologize to the listeners and viewers again, bro?
Do it again, Kev. Do it again.
Listen, I would like to sincerely apologize for the NSFW tricks on it segment that Jude just put forth. I know I'm apologizing like twice in 6 minutes, but I like to apologize. His views do not reflect the views of me or Andrew L. Case. Thank you.
One last run with Aaron Rodgers, Bill Belichick. After that, they can both fuck off. Oh, I care. Just get one last run, go all the way, get the ring. Belichick can right his wrongs. Aaron Rodgers can get better in the public eye, and then they both can leave, and that's it.
Listen, I'm not going to act like I'm totally opposed to Bill Belichick coming full circle and winning us a ring. But I mean, if anybody's batshit crazy enough to do that, it would be Woody. And to be honest with you, it wouldn't be a half bad scenario considering what we have on defense already, and what we have on offense already under contract. So if Bill Belichick came here with those guys under contract, and he could basically figure out how to get offensive line and stuff like that and figure this out, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad if he was the coach one season with what we have currently and maybe some additions. I'm definitely not considering that long term. No, hell no. But if it was
why not?
Bill Belichick,
he's a Hall of Famer.
No,
inner circle Hall of Famer. He would have to literally come in, win right away, and then win at least 3 more. And then I would never say anything bad about Bill Belichick if he came in and took over and won right away and won at least 3 more. But that's not happening, bro. He's a curmudgeon. It's not happening.
I want to say something funny, and this goes back to when they decided to fire Bill Belichick. Robert Kraft was all the way out in Germany. He saw Mac Jones throw one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see in your life. And then he saw Bailey Zappi throw a fake spike interception to 3 defenders. After seeing that, he must have been like, yeah, this shit's not going to work anymore. So that's just objectively funny. He saw those 2 news like, yeah, this shit's done.
Listen, the good thing about this is that they kept it under lock and key, and no one heard nothing until right now. Even though I don't care when the news came out. If it was like the end of the Bills' era, ending of Bills' era. But I'm just surprised that they kept it in the wraps for so long. Because we knew that the question was coming at the end of the season. We didn't know exactly how it was going to come about. If it's going to be a back-breaking loss, or is it going to be, maybe they're tanking to get that pick or whatever. But clearly, no team knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to losing.
Oh no!
Because this is why the fuck we're here right now.
Oh no!
Because teams have learned how to fucking lose. New York Jets.
Please don't do this.
Let's talk about it. The Jets are 4. Well, they were 4-8 coming into the Texans game. Texans were 7-5. Texans, have a young, exciting rookie of the year quarterback, Pro Bowl quarterback as well in C.J. Stroud. What's his name? What's his first name, Kev?
I gotta look that up.
Pulled up the tweet. It was his name is so funny.
Hold on, man.
And I think he's a
Hold
junior.
on.
That's what the J.
Yes,
is for.
no. He's a fourth, bro.
A fourth, yeah. He's the fourth.
Coleridge, Bernard, CJ
Coleridge
Stroud.
Bernard.
So yeah, some random site had his government name, which is crazy.
Coleridge.
I'm no longer calling him CJ.
Coleridge.
His name is Coleridge.
What is a Coleridge? With all due respect, what is a Cole? And there's 4 of them motherfuckers too. 4. He's Coleridge the fucking fourth.
Coleridge Bernard the fourth.
What?
His name. He was born with a tin of fatback, some cornbread.
Coleridge. I can't, but yeah, keep going. I'm sorry.
He was born with emphysema.
I'm sorry to be so flabbergasted.
That's such a coal miner's name, Coleridge.
Coleridge, the fourth.
No disrespect to your name. We just joking. No disrespect to your name. But yeah, but Kev said that me and Kev talked before the game, and Kev said, "Look, it's a game that the Jets are probably going to win." And I was on the phone like, "Yeah, it seems like that because he's never faced a defense as good as ours." And Zach being benched for 2.5 games, and come back in a situation. I mean, we all knew that Zach was the best of the worst pairing of quarterbacks in the league. No shit, but the baby got their bottle, right? Shout out to Jake Assman. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, bro. You got Tim Boyle. You got Trevor Siemian. Didn't work out, player. You begged for Josh. You begged for Josh Dobbs. Why didn't we get Dobbs? He just got benched. He's got benched. There's a lot of backups, who are backups for a reason, and they're not doing good. And we watched everyone spin around and say, "Oh, we could have had this person," and every guy that we could have had stinks, pretty much. But Zach, in the beginning, first half, it was 0-0. It didn't look like nothing was going to happen. The Jets put up 30 second half points. We win a game. It's a good, meaningless win.
That's fair to put.
It wasn't a bad win as far as like who we played and where they were. It was a good win. It meant nothing. People are like, oh, why are you guys acting like that, bro? I'm indifferent. It's our 5th win of the season in December. Who the fuck cares, bro? We have to win out to even get to a wild card. And what is that going to do? Who the fuck cares? And I'm watching people rationalize this win and get excited for an improbable run for a wild card spot. And I'm just asking myself,
oh no,
why are people like this? Why are people like this? Have we gone through enough? Put your hand down, Jude. I'm gonna put your hand down. Because you're Mr. Wins are aphrodisiac and all that other bullshit.
You played a win. Yeah. Fake ass Herm Edwards.
But can't answer how are these wins beneficial to us in the long run? Can you answer that? Can you answer that?
In the long run, well, it might raise Zach Wilson's trade value up somehow, some way. If he somehow strings these games together, someone might be like, you know what, the Jets fucking suck. Let's give him a 3rd-round pick for him. In which case, good for them.
Oh, they're not getting no 3rd-round pick for no Zach Wilson, man. Knock it off. No, like you should hope that whatever the last month, whatever happens in the last month turns your 6th-round pick to a 4th. That's your best hope. And I don't even think you're getting a 4th, quite frankly.
Hey, who knows? Maybe the Seahawks somehow get fleeced again and say, you know what? We can rehabilitate Zach, even though we got Gino. I don't know. Some teams are dumb. There's going to be a dumb team somewhere.
I mean, he's not a box safety or a running back, so maybe they'll be less inclined to empty their own pockets.
And I will say, and this is just like we've heard from other people as well, I feel like you have to kind of keep the star players engaged too. Like, you don't want them all to just all be like, you know what, fuck this team. I'm requesting a trade. I'm out. So that's the only reason. Other than that, I mean, in regards to the game, the game wasn't really that eventful. Even though Jets put up 30 points, it wasn't like some crazy splash plays or whatnot. There were some really good throws by Zach. Defense did their thing. CJ Stroud got hurt, unfortunately. But it was a good game. Can't really complain about that overall.
Jude, come on. Don't do that. We scored 30 points in the second half. This is the best fucking offensive output we had.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't that impressive, but don't we watering it down now? This is the win. The win that you.
I mean,
wanted.
he said it wasn't that eventful. I don't think it was about impressive. He was just saying it wasn't big splash plays, whatever.
He had 300 yards that everybody been begging for. He threw 2 touchdowns, more than one more than one, and he didn't throw any interceptions.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing. I will say the crazy thing about that game is how dominant the Jets were. They could have been even more dominant. CJ Mosley dropped a pick. I think Michael Carter dropped another pick. It could have been easily 40 points, a random 40-point win over a playoff-bound, most likely playoff-bound Texans in December as 4-8 teams. But I don't think any 4-8 teams lost this week. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just win the games you're there in front of you.
Because these guys are dumb. Patriots are winning meaningless games. Listen, we're going to get into the Giants stuff, but which is even more ridiculous than the Jets stuff because for some odd reason, we've already said this already. The Giants beating the Giants fans are clinically fucking insane. They think they have a shot to go to the playoff. Now I know the NFC isn't as good as the AFC, and stranger things have happened, but they really feel like Tommy DeVito is the guy to lead them to the playoffs. That's a totally different discussion. We're talking about the team that we all like, except for Kev. Mm-hmm. The win in itself was a good win. If this was 3 weeks ago, I'm all for it. Kev might still be a fan if this was 3 weeks ago. If it was against the Raiders or against the Chargers, where it fucking mattered, Kev might still be here on board.
Correct.
The problem with this win is Zach Rosenblatt tweets, the Jets finally decided to open up the playbook. Finally decided to open the playbook. That's problem number one. Problem number two, people believe that Saleh listened to the fans, and that's the reason why he benched Zach Wilson. That's problem number two. I don't understand. No, and I'm here to say this, guys. Nobody gives a fuck what you guys think. Damn. No disrespect. No one gives a fuck what we think. No disrespect. No disrespect. There's a level of where the fans matter, but not to the level you think that Saleh is looking at tweets and saying we should bench Zach Wilson.
What the fans think matters to one person, and that's Woody. Outside of that, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
He's the biggest, we listen to the fans. Now, there's some truths and there's some lies. And I know Kev knows a lot of the lies. So I'm gonna let Kev handle some of the truth and lies surrounding this whole ordeal leading up to this improbable win. Go ahead, Kev.
I am so glad that I'm disconnected and I don't have to read or I still read it. So I don't have to care about the whole, oh, why don't you guys care? It's a nice win versus tank. It's just, I'm glad I'm separated from it because ultimately the people who like to big up meaningless wins say stuff like, what's tanking gotten us in the past? And it's like, well, one, the Jets have never actually completed the tank, like full tank. I'm not talking about pick number 4, pick number 5. They've never completed the full tank. The last time the Jets picked number 1 was fucking 1998, was it not?
No, 1996.
1996, excuse me. Yeah, 98, the Jets made AFC title. I'm sorry, 96, excuse me. So I don't quite understand. The Jets have won a lot of bullshit, meaningless December games, and that's gotten them nowhere too. So if we're gonna go what's it done for you? Nothing's done anything for the Jets. They've sucked at everything. I don't know what you want. The Zach Wilson conversation it's batshit crazy. Doing victory laps because he's better than Tim Boyle makes every single anti-Zach person's point that he's ass. Like it makes if you are celebrating and doing I told you, and granted, listen, I've done a lot of shameless I told you soing before, so I'm not gonna act like I'm above it. But brother, because he's better than Tim Boyle was what, a 7th round draft pick. Yeah. Who, like his senior year, he threw like what, 1 touchdown or something heinous like that, like 11 games or whatever the fuck the stat line was.
Garbage.
What?
So garbage.
Why do y'all care so much? You know what the Jets quarterback room is? It's picking out who the smartest moron is. Why does it matter? They're all fucking dumb. Why does it matter? They all suck. The people who are saying Tim Boyle's better than Zach Wilson, they did exist, sure. They said one bad quarterback is worse than the other or better than the other. We're doing victory laps because he played one good half, like not even a game. Because Zach Wilson, if he's shown anything in this run or era, it's he can't put together a good full game. It's a quarter, it's a half. It's never a full fucking game. So he puts together a good half, and I'm not here to take nothing away from him. He played great. That's probably the best half he's ever played. Good for him. Not even here, not knocking him. Just, I don't know why the people who like Zach or defend Zach but claim that they don't, like Dan. Yeah, I said it. Dan defends him every day and claims he doesn't. I'm just like, Dan, do you understand that I'm the type of person who will pull out the dictionary meaning of a word and put it in the damn chat and show you, yes, this is exactly what you're doing. I'm not playing around with definitions and how it's received. No, here's the literal definition of the word defend. You do this every single day. And then we'll point and be like, how come you're so repetitive? It's like, Dan, look in the mirror. Please get a mirror, look at it. But regardless, the defense of this kid is just like, we're like, oh, they never should have benched him. I told you he was the best chance. Bro, they were under 500 with him starting. With one of the league's very preeminent defenses. They were under 500 with this kid starting. He's not the answer. And listen, if he bottles up the second half and plays 4 more games like this to close out the fucking season, good for him. That doesn't change what happened the first 10 games of the year. You could blame it on whoever you want. You could blame it on Hackett. He definitely takes some blame here. The injuries, they definitely take some blame here. The Jets have been cycling through offensive linemen crazy. So I'm not here to even say that this is all on him. I'm saying if you're taking a victory lap over one half of football, what the fuck are you really doing? And what's your agenda here with a guy who's not good and objectively has been one of the worst quarterbacks ever drafted? This is not a situation where I'm exaggerating how bad he is or I'm talking shit because I don't like him. I don't like him, but I'm not talking shit because I don't like him. I'm just talking shit because he sucks. And it's objectively bad. Not, oh, I got to squint hard and nitpick. And all of the stats are bad. The film is bad. The stats are bad. Everything, the process is bad. His footwork is bad. Everything about this guy is bad. And he plays one good half of football after being unfairly benched. And now we're revising history now. And he always gave us the best chance. It was like, yeah, did he give you a better chance of winning Tim fucking Boyle? Yes. Nobody's arguing. No, not many people, not many sane people are arguing this shit. That does not make him any less ass. And you're not making the point you think you're making when you're doing victory laps because he's better than fucking Tim Boyle.
I will say one thing, too, that I saw a bit of, where many people were saying, oh, the Jets panicked and benched Zach Wilson. I'm thinking to myself,
oh, my God.
They allowed him to start for 10 games. Like, there's no panic when you're starting a guy for 10 games. Now, if they benched him after the Patriots game, which arguably they should have, then, yeah, you can argue they panicked. But it was 10 games. 2.5 months, 4 and 6. That's when they benched him. They had to bench him. They scored like.
I don't even think they had to bench him. Right. I don't think they had to bench him. They didn't have to bench him.
They didn't have to bench him.
It wasn't
they didn't have to bench him, but like benching that guy shouldn't cause a ruckus either. Like that's the thing. It should not cause a ruckus. There should not be victory laps after he comes in and plays one good half. Bro, he played 10 games. It's not like if they bench him at 1 and 2 and you want to take victory lap. Can't say nothing to you. Like, okay, you got it. He played 10 games. Like, it was a miracle if the Jets scored 2 touchdowns in a game. It was a legit, 2 offensive touchdowns in a game. It was a miracle. Right. So, like, that guy getting benched should not cause any kind of ruckus. He's bad. He got benched. Like, yes, the guy who he got benched for is worse. Sure. Fine. He is. Sure. Why this is something to victory lap over is fucking beyond me, but Jets fans are really weird about Zach Wilson, even though like it's clear, or at least it should be clear that his time is coming to an end. They're really fucking weird. And like, no, good.
No, I want to say one last thing to go to an overall point is that I did the math, if the Jets scored exactly 17 points, no more, no less, in every single game, so that means 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and you can skip 1 quarter of scoring, so you don't even have to score for an entire quarter. 2 touchdowns and a field goal, they're 7-6 right now. If they scored 17 points in their 3 losses, they're 8-5. So it just goes to show, and Zach Wilson started most of those games too. So it's not like Tim Boyle was starting these games. It was Zach Wilson. So it's like people acted like Zach Wilson started week 1 and 2, got benched. Tim Boyle sunk the season, and then Zach Wilson came back. It's like, no, they allowed Zach to stay in for 10 fucking games. They weren't scoring.
Panicked. They panicked and benched him.
The only problem I have with that analogy, because we sit on Twitter about the 17 points, Salah comes on the podium and says, race to 20. You know, every game is a race to 20. Right? And smart people say, you know, like there's numbers bigger than 20, right? There's 21, there's 24, there's 25. Like, there's numbers bigger than 20, right? Mm-hmm. You say it's a race to 20, and then you score 12. You say it's a race to 20, you score 6, 14, 8, whatever they did.
9,
like,
10.
9.
Yeah.
The thing that pissed me off, and this is another part of the compounding problem. People are saying, "Oh, well, Zach is this, Zach is that," and coaching has failed him. Coaching didn't bother you when they were literally not trying to actively play football. Like they played football when they had to, when it felt like Hackett was going to get fired, right, against Kansas City. The rumors was buzzing like, listen, this might be the end for a lot of people. Now, the Jets, for those who play at home, the Jets don't fire coaches midseason. There have never been a coach fired midseason. I don't even think a coordinator's ever been fired midseason. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But the Jets don't.
Greg Williams was fired midseason.
Right.
Greg Williams.
Right.
Greg Williams. Yeah. I don't remember anything before or after that. But Greg Williams was definitely fired in season.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they don't fire head coaches during the season. But if Hackett's job or play calling duties were on the line, it was that game. And he called a good game, albeit the refs kind of fucked us over, but he called a good game. Then he stopped. Like I hope people realize they played the Chiefs, who are a good defense, and he put up, I think, 21 points, and then they stopped fucking coaching. So if we're going to be mad at, if we're going to like, oh, well, Zach wasn't all along, it's really time to put the screws to these fucking coaches. It's really like Salah. It's really time to there's no way I could be excited about this win, because it's like, you mean to tell me you guys could have done this all along?
That's the maddening part,
right? You mean to tell me I have to watch this shit for weeks, hoping that you guys will score points and beat teams?
What did you refer to it as?
What?
Jude Ball.
Jude Ball. Yes, Jude Ball. Like we had to watch you play Jude Ball for weeks, and then Salah like, always knew you sling it. No, you didn't, because you said he has a gunslinger mentality. We're trying to rein him in. Then you said it was a race to 20, and now you're saying, he just had to blank it out. Shut the fuck up,
Robert. Be saying whatever, man. Just
shut the fuck up, Robert.
But that comment was, he just got to let it rip, Robert. Word to Gail King. Robert. Like, what are we talking about, Robert? Like, let it. He had to let it rip, sir. After the New England game, you said at least Zach played a clean game. You're gonna tell me that same coach was telling him the entire time, you gotta let it rip, Robert.
Don't think for the ball,
Robert.
Like the only times the Jets offense this whole entire year were good were pretty much the Chiefs game, where people's feet were probably held to the fire, and the Texans game, where probably people's feet were held to the fire as well. Imagine if there's an actual playoff mandate for these guys. Maybe they would actually coach like their jobs would mean something.
Bullshit. They'll just get fired. But yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's most likely, but maybe it'll be watchable football at least. Maybe it wouldn't be 14-12 or whatever the fuck we've been seeing.
But the problem, this is the last point. The problem that I had is we win game 1 that we weren't supposed to win. We have 16 games left. Mm-hmm. We know Rodgers is probably out for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Your job should be safe. At least from what we've heard, your job should be safe. Mm-hmm. We know that you don't want to play Wilson, but you're going to play Wilson. let it go. Just let it rip. Yes. Sam Howell this shit.
Yeah.
As much as people talk about how good Sam Howell is, like Sam Howell's throwing like I think he's on pace to make like 750, maybe 800 attempts for this season. That's somebody letting it rip. He's been sacked 55 plus times. That's someone letting it fucking rip.
Hey man, I'm gonna preemptively pause this or AO this, but Sam Howell has an affinity for sacks. He has a fetish for sacks. That is all.
Wow.
He never made a sack. He didn't. Oh God. Moving on. NFL scheduling. You guys are fucking idiots. You guys are dumb. I don't know why I decided to put on 2 Monday Night Football games simultaneously last night. And it wasn't like they were like the greatest to choose from, but they were both. I'll put it like this. Here's the reason I really messed it up. They were both down to the wire. Titans, Dolphins, Giants, Packers are both down to the wire. But what we're going to talk about right now is Titans, Dolphins. The Dolphins can't play against good defenses. They just can't play against good defense. It's one of those things. Like, there's a couple of teams this season. If you look at strength of schedule, the strength of victory, and I think the Dolphins. I don't know. I gotta check again to see what the strength of victory is. But the Dolphins can't beat teams with like top 10 defenses. They can't beat playoff teams. Like just don't do well against teams like that. But this was particularly bad because they had like how much? What was the lead, Jude? It was like a
27-13 with 3 minutes left.
3 and change left, yes.
And they gave it up. They gave it up. And the final play of the game was just like,
pathetic.
It was
4th and 1. 4th and 1, and it's like you can't just run the ball. You can't do it.
You can't take a sack in that position. It's like two was just like
dive.
It was bad, but I'm gonna let you guys talk about it again, Jude.
So, I didn't get a chance to watch this game all that much. It's just fun to laugh at the Dolphins online because fuck them. But the funny thing is, I think Tyreek Hill got hurt for most of that game, and you can kind of see a couple of things. A, you can see how valuable Tyreek Hill is to that offense because they look quite the same. And B, you can kind of see why Tyreek Hill should really be considered for MVP because the Dolphins are a very different team without him. Very, very different team. That's about, Will Levis, he's a boss. He's a boss. Being down 27-13 and you're making big throws like that, big plays, he's good. That's about it. I don't really have much takeaways from that.
Good.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm just here to laugh. I don't really got no fucking football based takes or who was beating man defense. I don't get none of it. I'm just here. The Dolphins have put so many comical December losses on the books over the last like 20 years. And I just like to say I appreciate them for it. Because just over the 20 years, the coaches change, the players change, the weather changes, the world changes. And December Miami Dolphins, just they haven't fucking changed. They just give you what they give you. Eventually it will change. All of these things come to an end at some point. Eventually it will change. Until that time comes and they actually become a serious organization, well, a more serious organization. To be fair to them, they've come a long way. I'm going to just continue to laugh because giving up 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes to those guys is hilarious. The Titans don't even be trying to score half the fucking time, dog. And they 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes. They don't even be trying to score. They just be like, all right, look, how do we get out of this drive without putting the ball in harm's way at all? Like whether it's putting it in the air at all, like not even a deep, just throwing the ball, period. They half the time they're not even trying to fucking score. And they scored 2 touchdowns in 3 and change to beat, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The teams have been down 14 points in the last 3 minutes 767 times since 2016. Them teams won 0 of those games. They let the Titans buck a 767 game trend. Do you understand what the fuck that I just told you? The Titans, not a good team, not a high-scoring team, not a high-power team. The fucking Titans did this to you in your crib. They had feet all up on the couch in your crib.
Fuck
All up on your couch. They had shoes on and all that. All up on your couch. No respect whatsoever for your house.
Fuck your couch, nigga.
Fuck your couch. Right. Fuck your couch, nigga. All up on your couch. Feet all up on your couch. No respect. No respect. Left the table a mess. Left the bathroom a mess. And then just left. No respect whatsoever. These are your kings? And by your, I mean the media types who love Mike McDaniel because he's so quote unquote quirky and whatever the fuck else. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about them. And I don't have none against Mike McDaniel. Just how he's covered is extremely cringe. Like he's covered for, like he wore a fur jacket to the game. And I think, oh, look at the drip. Stop. It's a fucking fur coat. Knock it off. It's a fur coat. He's not Cat Williams. Knock it the fuck off. All right. But I'm just here to laugh at the Dolphins. But I got everything I need to say off my chest, so we can move on. Thank you.
Yeah, the strength of victory is 325. Like the Dolphins, I had this conversation with a lot of people this year. There's a lot of teams that have like 8 or 9 wins, and just look at the strength of, or even 8. Just go 7 or more, and look at the strength of victory. They haven't beat nobody. The Dolphins can't beat good teams. They can't beat playoff teams. They can't beat good defensive teams. The strength of victory is 325. Probably one of the worst in the league. It's just, it is what it is. I don't know why people think Super Bowl with this team. I know they have an explosive offense, but they're pretty much the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC East. Cowboys also have a very bad strength of victory. They beat 2 teams, Seahawks borderline playoff team, and they beat the Eagles finally. But everything else has been.
I'd say the Bills. I honestly think the Bills are more the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC East, to be honest, because like Bills, everyone puts them as a Super Bowl contender every single year. They're like Super Bowl is a minimum, and they don't even make out the divisional. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree with the Bills stuff, but it's just, hey, another team winning a game that means nothing.
Oh no!
And don't know the thing. So we've covered the Jets.
Oh no!
Tennessee's 1-1, and now this guy, New York Giants.
He's got the sauce.
Got the sauce. The gabagool or the gravy. Tommy DeVito is a walking gimmick as of right now. He's a walking gimmick. And when I say they are steering into that shit, boy, they are Tokyo drifting at 90 miles per hour into every stereotype. Did you see his agent?
Yes. That shit was, I don't know what the fuck.
Yes.
Yes.
Wise guy.
It's crazy.
There's like, it's listen, it's so funny to witness what happened last night. I'm gonna pull up the image as soon as I get the image. I'm gonna pull it up. But it was so funny to witness that game last night because the Giants, the Packers should be. I don't know. I guess they should be better. I don't know. They're 6-7 now, whatever.
I feel like they are what they are.
Yeah, you kind of feel. But
Jordan Love has really turned it up the last 6 weeks, but they are what they are. Largely.
Yeah, right. But the Giants doing typical Giants shit. We talked about this last week, not last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I was here last week, 2 weeks ago. They're just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous franchise, bro. I've never understood how this franchise. I mean, I do understand how this franchise got to where it got, but I don't understand why it's like this. Like the Jets and the Giants are both 5-8. The Jets have, I think, an 11% chance. I don't know if it went up. So I think it went up. I think it went up a little higher since the Miami Dolphins lost. But they had like 11% chance if they went out to go to the wild card. I think the Giants have around the same percentage. But the coverage, you would swear that the Giants are this darling team that has been fed the raw hand and oh my God, woe is us, and now things are turning around and they're milking this shit. Look at this shit.
That shit's crazy.
What?
Like
he looks like Skip Bayless's shady ass cousin.
He does.
Hey, Skip, this is Tony.
He looks like a
Bro.
bookie, to be honest, too. Like he
Bro,
looks like some people owe him money.
like, who's he on the phone with? Who's he on the phone? Like, who do you think's on the phone right now?
His mom. You know, since Tommy DeVito. I'm serious, since Tommy DeVito.
Hey,
Like
Sandra,
they even mentioned.
Hey, Sandra, it's me, Tony. Fire up the chicken fingers running away right now.
It's crazy. I will say about Tommy DeVito's overall plays, he's gotten better. There's no doubt that he's gotten better compared to how he was these first few games, which also makes it hilarious how Dabo versus the Jets told the man never to throw a ball and lost the game. And they could very well be significantly in the playoff picture if they actually told DeVito to complete more than 2 passes. But it was just like, don't throw the ball. So that's kind of hilarious. But overall, I mean, that game was pretty good. It's a good game. The refs are bad, though. Like, I want to say the refs are horrible. And it's like, it's gotten comical to this point. It's like every week. And it's not even just the wrong calls or the bad calls. It's them stopping the game to review something. And it takes like 10 minutes. And it's something that's like, oh, this is easy to spot. It's incomplete, but it's taking them 10 minutes. It ruins the flow of the game. It's every single fucking game. I don't know what they have to do, but it mars the product so many times. Like, the product's bad as it is, and the refs just make it worse. And I also want to give a shout out to the Packers defense at the end of the game for providing no resistance whatsoever. It's like usually a 2-minute drive, there would be some resistance, some big play. Nope. Every play Tommy DeVito made, first down or a positive play. That shit was, yeah, that's about it.
Kev, any thoughts on this? I know you don't have a lot to say about it.
Actually, probably have more to say than you think. First of all, rooting for the Packers defense to do anything has always been a fool's errand. Has been a fool's errand for a long time. That aside, I'm so tired of hearing about Tommy DeVito. Oh my fucking god! Like, listen, I like fun. I understand why this is fun for people. Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm just the Grinch guy. I don't walk around like, hey, fuck Tommy DeVito. Why do you enjoy it? I just personally don't enjoy it. So like, I don't enjoy it because I am tired of the mediocre white quarterback gimmick. We do this all the fucking time. They did it with Ryan Fitzpatrick and his dusty ass beard. They still do it. He has a fucking job on Amazon. The next first astute take he gives will be the fucking first. They do it with Gardner Minshew and his stupid fucking mustache. Now they're doing it with Tommy DeVito. It's like, okay, he's Italian. I get it. Like, how much more are you going to tell me that he's fucking Italian? He's Italian. I understand, bro. Like, if he was at least good, fine. Yeah, and yes, he's improving. He's still bad. Like, he the only good thing, I'll say, just the humanity standpoint, he's making himself a lot of money over these weeks. Good for him. Genuinely happy for the kid, because not a lot of people get that kind of opportunity when you're a third, fourth string or whatever he was coming into the year. If he was even on the team, I don't even remember. But good for him, truly. The gimmick and the beating me over the head with the he's Italian and he likes chicken cutlets and chicken parmigiana or whatever the fuck. Enough. Knock it off. Enough. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that shit. Enough. Like, I get it. The Giants are fucking boring. So you found something interesting and you're gonna latch onto it till death do us part. Enough. I get it. He's fucking Italian. What more do we need to go on with this, bro? He's Italian. Sure. Cutlets and all this other bullshit for a quarterback who clearly is not good. It's like, enough. Also, but it is funny that he is playing way better than Daniel Jones did before he got hurt. So that part's funny. I appreciate that part. Daniel Jones, they paid Daniel Jones $40 million, and he has been by a good distance the third best quarterback that played for the Giants this year.
You know who Tommy DeVito is? Gallinari. Remember when Gallinari was here and it was just like
they did the most. But at least Gallinari was good.
He was
good. Tommy DeVito is a fucking fourth string quarterback, bro. Who's getting a shot, and good for him. Like, I don't think I need to see his family every time they complete a pass. I don't think I need to see that shit. it ain't for me. Like the mediocre to bad white quarterback gimmick is just not for me in general. This is not even a Tommy DeVito thing. It's not a Giants thing. I hated it when they were doing it with Gardner fucking Minshew, who's never played anywhere near New York. Well, he played in Philly, whatever. He's never played in this market, and I hated that shit too because he fucking stinks. Like, stop
but Kev, you know what it is?
Mm.
I know the answer. Italian Americans are dying for a hero. They're dying for a hero, a real one, because they're to this date their hero is Sylvester Stallone. You know how desperate you are for a hero when you make a statue in Philly about a fictional character. Sylvester Stallone is not an athlete. He's not an athlete. The Rocky character has a statue in Philadelphia. Can anyone name another fictional sports icon that has a statue in any city?
No, not off the top of my
Air
head.
Bud.
Maybe Air Bud. But then it's
Air
like there've been
Bud,
like 20 of them because they've all died. Like all the dogs died.
Oh, damn, Case, what are you doing?
The dogs like died on set and stuff like that.
What are you doing,
Air
Case?
Bud is like a
Jesus Christ.
yo. It's like imagine there was like a Mighty Ducks statue of what was the coach name? I forgot the name of the coach who was the coach of Emilio Estevez. Imagine made they erected a statue of Emilio Estevez in Anaheim. I mean, the movie was so big they made an actual NHL team. We had a cartoon show. There was memorabilia, but there was no fucking statue erected for a fictional person. And I just think that the Italian Americans, their heroes have been Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, the kids from Jersey Shore, and whatever athlete who's good for like a couple of weeks. And I get it. You guys are desperate for a hero, and DeVito is that guy right now who lives in the basement with his mom, and she cooks good, whatever the case may be, chicken cutlets.
Yeah, chicken cutlets.
Listen, Italian food is amazing. I've had it before. You know what I mean? I get it.
I love a chicken cutlet, so I can't front on that one. Love it.
Can't front. But the fucking straws that they're grasping at to try to make this kid something. Jesus Christ.
I want to say one more thing to go back a little bit to the playoff point I made earlier. It's the thing with the Giants is that it's slightly more plausible in the NFC because their schedule, they play the Eagles twice, and then they play the Rams, and then they play, the Saints. So they play Derek Carr, Matthew Stafford, and the Eagles twice. The problem is thanks to Brian Dabble not trusting Tommy Chicken Cutlets to throw versus the Jets, now they got to beat the Eagles one time. And for as long as I've known, they've never beaten the Eagles in a meaningful game. For at least 5 years, they have never beaten the Eagles in a meaningful game for them. So it's like, yeah, Dabble screwed them.
Bro,
like everything comes together.
They're going to get crushed. I'm predicting. I'm predicting the Jets win another meaningless game against Miami. I'm predicting the Giants are going to lose. And the Giants season is going to be effectively done. And they're just going to win. And they don't give us hope for like another week before the wheels fall off. But I'm predicting the Jets win versus Miami because a lot is going wrong. And the Jets defense is good enough. And we've beaten them already. And it's just like, I don't see the trend changing, especially with injuries to Tyreek Hill. I think their center is unfortunately out for the season with I think an ACL injury. And I mean, listen, one thing about wins that I've argued the whole thing. It's meaningless to us, to the players, the smiles on their faces, and I don't know if they believe they're going to the playoffs, but you can't convince players of that skill set to give it up, especially on defense. Like you can't really convince them to give it up. And I'm not saying the team should give up, but I'm just saying there's no benefit to winning these games. But listen, the Bears won, the Giants won, the Titans won, the Jets won. No one cares that there's like 5 or 6 really good quarterbacks coming out next season, and someone's going to miss out on some really good talent because they don't want to go 4-13 or whatever. 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 Let's move on to baseball. Ohtani is in LA, sort of. He's no longer playing for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is a stupid ass name.
Very stupid. Oh my god.
He packed his shit and moved 20 minutes down the way Matter of fact, he didn't even pack. He just cleaned out his locker. It's like, yeah, guys, great job, great job, Angels, for not getting anything via trade value, letting this guy walk down the fucking block.
That's insane, still. Yeah.
That's like, what a shit organization that those guys are. Like, I can't believe that team once won a World Series that everybody loved them, and they just fell off.
Oh yeah, that feels like a long
was
time.
This
I mean,
was this before 1992 or like was this before?
This was like 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
This was the Rally Monkey and the
Yep.
they banned the noise, the sticks. They felt like they had banned like the following season. But this is a team that a franchise that had a young team that won a ring and then fell off, and then like somewhere down the line you get Trout, then you get Pujols for some reason, and then you actually get some real talent, and you never built a roster. Like they never built a roster. But for the fact that you could have traded Shohei and got some pieces to build a roster, I wonder how long before Trout's either asked to be traded or when's his contract up, Kev?
A long time from now, Bucko. Like 5 years, 6 years, something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if how long before Trout says enough, because he's been playing a good soldier for a long time. And for someone of his magnitude to not be on a playoff team is a waste of fucking talent. He has a lot of money, not as much as Shohei's getting, but we'll get into that right now. Shohei got 10 years, $700 million from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the immediate thought is, wow, they're paying him $70 million a year. But wait, here's more.
Yeah.
Under his guidance, and I guess whoever his agent is, and the team decided to say, you know what, I'm going to take only 20 million of this 700 million, and the 680 fucking million left, you can pay me until I'm 72. Listen, somebody said the Los Angeles Dodgers are paying Shohei on Afterpay. Somebody said that they're paying him through Klarna.
Jesus Christ!
Now here's the problem, and I'm using quotes. People are saying this is not legal. And Kev, you're a bigger baseball person.
Oh, it's legal. They're saying it shouldn't be legal.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But people saying it's not legal. A lot of NFL people chimed in too, which is so funny. I love when contracts come out. NFL people come in like, "Hey, should they be doing that?" I'm like, guys, you guys have your own like mountain to climb. Please leave other sports alone. leave NBA alone. Leave MLB alone. Climb your own mountains, right?
Shohei said Patrick Mahomes a text after he signed. Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
but Kev, the thing about this contract, and people were pissed, rightfully so, right? So, oh, how is that fair? Because now they can spend even more money. I'm like, well, duh. Like, if deferring money is nothing new in major sports. There's just never
been a bigger name to do it on this kind of level,
right? Because they said, I think Antoine said Ken Griffey is probably still making $4 million a year from Seattle,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
I see that every year. Ken Griffey,
right? Bobby Bonilla Day. They deferred his contract until he's 70 years old. You know what I mean? Which was they didn't have to. That's the thing about that contract. They didn't have to. They deferred 5 point something million, and it's compounded interest over time. But with this deal, are more teams going to try to pull this off and sign guys for big money and defer it down the line? And if you are a professional athlete, Kev, or I'm gonna start with you, Jude. If you're a professional athlete, Jude, is this financial security?
You know, there's been this debate about it, and I get some people talking about inflation and interest and all that stuff. For me personally, I'd rather just know that after I'm done playing, I have this nice guaranteed ass paycheck of $70 million every single year. I think it's deferred over 10 years. I don't know if it's like deferred to 72.
No, it's deferred. It's deferred longer.
No, it's deferred longer.
Okay,
yeah. I don't know how long. So it's definitely more than 10.
Yeah, they said it's to be paying him until he's like 72 years old, something like that.
Oh, I would rather have that paycheck every single year. And I'm sure like some people know that he's also probably getting endorsements too. He has a big fan base in Japan, obviously. So it's not like
he's getting deep 8 figures.
Yeah. So he's not going to be like hurting for money, but it's like you like that little bit of like, you know, you could just chill, just get a nice few $1 million paycheck. That's good. But yeah, I don't blame Shohei for doing this, and it helps the Dodgers win, and he probably wants to win at this point. That's why he went to the Dodgers and not the Blue Jays with Drake. He went to an actual team that wants to win. So he went to the Dodgers. So he went to the Dodgers to win, and they're going to have the space to get players and win. And to your question, I know you mentioned other MLB owners, they're not going to do this. The players are probably going to be like, no, we want all of our money now. And honestly, the MLB owners, the Reds aren't going to do this. The Rays, what MLB team's really going to do this besides the Yankees, the Dodgers, and maybe the Mets?
Well, some will.
Yeah.
Some will. Because here's the thing, and thank you for segueing me perfectly, unintentionally. Appreciate you. The thing about the contract is it's a 10-year, $700 million contract in the same way some of these NFL contracts are what they are. The real of it is it's a 10-year, $460 million contract. And they're just paying him interest after he's done. Like, that's the real of it. They presented it how they presented it for their own reasons, shock value reasons. His agent gets to say, hey, my client got $700 million. Mookie Betts is next up, or whoever it is, like $40 million. Like, oh, y'all broke. Like, they get to play that. They get to play that card. So, like, is it technically skirting around the CBT line? Yes. Like, yes, it is actively, finding a runaround. It's yes, 100%. Now, Shohei was the one who brought it up. And Shohei also offered this same thing to other teams. Now, obviously, he wanted it from the Dodgers. That's why he's there. And I feel like that was the worst kept secret in baseball for like 3 years. He wanted to be a Dodger. He was going to be a Dodger. But he offered the same thing to the Giants. The Giants were willing to do it. Granted, the Giants have been trying to give everybody money for like a solid 10 years. Everybody, every year, the Giants are free dinner in the fucking phone of every single massive free agent. Just,
Roof Chris. They say the Giants are the Roof Chris.
Yes, bro. Bro, it's just free dinner every like you see the Giants number on your phone, you know what time it is. I don't take them serious, but I take the food. That's what it is every single fucking year. But as far as I think it's so unprecedented that we're not going to be talking about this shit in a year or 2 years. Like, I don't think Juan Soto's doing this shit. I don't think anybody else is going to do it to this degree. Deferrals have been happening forever. Owners wanted to address that part of it, but it was so minor to them that nothing ever came of it. It's like some of them had a problem with it, others were just like, shrug, and then that's just what it is. So I personally don't think I think all the small market fans are whining, and I'm not even saying that as disrespect. Go look at the people who are complaining about this. It's the fans of teams like the Tigers, the Royals, the Pirates. It's not like Yankee fans. I can't sit here and complain about this shit. The Yankees are probably going to try and do it. I can't sit here and fucking complain about this shit. What do I look like? I'm a fan of the team with $300 million payroll. Right. You want to bet they're going to be like, hey, Juan, you saw that contract, right? Like, we're not going to do you like that. Like, we're not going to ask you to give up that much in the future. But give us like a little $35 million haircut. What's up? Talk to me. Right, a little something. Yeah, so like it's a lot of small market complaining, and I'm not even bashing them for it because really the real of it is a workaround. Like, the Dodgers are being cheeky about the shit. We know that. Okay. But the reality of the contract is it was presented that way to spur discussion. But that's what a lot of these contracts are. A lot of them NFL contracts ain't what the figures say they are. It's more like 2 years with options, more or less. And then, my client got $140 million. No, he didn't. They're not seeing the end of that contract. You know that shit just as well as I do. This shit is a 10-year, $460 million contract. That's what it's going to read on the luxury tax line. And that's essentially what it is, because he's going to count against the tax $46 million every year. Right. Now, I think a lot of the reaction came from the fact that a lot of people just didn't know about the value system, because once they saw he was taking $2 million, they thought he was going to count as $2 million. That would have been absurd.
Yeah,
that would have been
that
would have been absurd and very illegal. I'm sure.
Right.
So, very illegal. That would have been absurd. He's going to count 46 million. If you just pretend he signed a 10-year 46 million, 46 per, then you don't care, right? Then the $700 million doesn't fucking matter. So it's just a lot of much ado about nothing. A lot of this.
Thank you, Ken.
And I don't care about the numbers as far as like what's going to cost the team like down the line because they're billionaire owners. You know what I mean? They choose to do that. They could do it just like the Mets could have chosen and said, you know what? Because the first thing when Steve Cohen came and they're like, so you're just going to pay off Bobby Bonilla or what? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why the fuck not? Like it's not that much left. They're like, nah, we're just going to just let it run out till 2035 or some shit like that. He's going to get paid. Literally, he's literally getting paid till he's 72. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. But they decide. But the thing is, the Mets steered into that one and said, hey, you could stay. Remember that promo they had that you can sleep, like spend a night in Citi Field and like this Bobby Bonilla suite and shit like that. Like
no. You don't
remember that shit?
No.
Oh my God, they had the whole contest. No. Like, yeah, yeah, like I think they paid for it or some shit, but it's a Bobby Bonilla like suite or something like that they can have. You could just basically stay into whatever. But whatever the case may be, it's not illegal. It's common as fuck, like Kev said. Kev made an excellent point, and we could move the fuck on. Ohtani's a Dodger. Good for you. Maybe the Dodgers win a couple of World Series. Maybe they don't. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? I love this is my segment right here. This is my segment. I love this segment. I hate all you motherfuckers. Fuck all you.
Tommy Massa.
I've been away from the show for a while, and I text Kev and Jude and Dan, I get like, hey, segment idea, stuff like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my shit now is about audacity. People have some fucking audacity. I didn't screenshot this tweet. I'm gonna read this tweet from Chris Mano, Man of Steel, 17. It's not a shout out because this tweet is stupid. But it says, might be in the minority, but what can I say? Loyalty is a big deal to me. I want to see two dudes turn it around and show out so bad here in New York. Zach Wilson and Giancarlo Stanton catch endless shots around here. Both just take it in stride, never duck media, and assume responsibility always. And media here is no joke. I respect dudes like that and root for them till the wheels fall off. I'm old school like that.
Okay.
The audacity to compare Giancarlo Stanton to fucking Zach Wilson.
Oh.
The audacity. Oh, you were clapping? That's bullshit. The audacity.
No, I was clapping sarcastically at that.
The National League MVP, the guy who rips 30-plus home runs every season, is being compared to Zach Wilson about turning it around. Do you know the equivalent of a Giancarlo Stanton to a Zach Wilson in NFL terms? Let's just say, for arguments, I don't even say Josh Allen, but let's say Josh Allen was Giancarlo Stanton. And it's not a fair equivalent because so with Stanton, yes, he strikes out, and Kev can attest to what Stanton doesn't do well, right? Strikes out, double plays, whatever the case may be. But he tears the cover off the fucking ball. Mm-hmm. What adversity has Zach Wilson brought upon himself that he didn't deserve, that wasn't self-inflicted? The fucking audacity for you to try to make Zach Wilson anything more but a bad quarterback. Like this, it is what it is. He's a bad quarterback. People, backup. He's the number 2 overall pick, and he's the backup to Aaron Rodgers. You're comparing him to other backups. You're not comparing him to. He's not a starter that you're comparing to backups. You're comparing a backup to other fucking backups. The audacity. Stop with the false equivalence. It makes no sense. Giancarlo Stanton is an all-star. He's a fucking MVP. He might be a World Series champion.
It's Giancarlo.
Giancarlo, whatever.
I've watched you butcher the man's name enough while asking to respect him at the same time. It's John.
It's not John because in Spanish, there's
no he himself will tell you it's John. What the fuck are you talking about?
The case really just actually Giancarlo Stanton.
Bro, my man is arguing the pronunciation of another man's name. That's insane. You can say it shouldn't be pronounced John.
It shouldn't be because if you read the Spanish alphabet, the G is not pronounced that way. It's E. E A B C D E F E. Hold that guy. Hey, yeah.
All right.
Tú hablas español. Tú hablas español,
I had
marico.
no idea we were gonna get a Spanish.
Oh yeah.
alphabet
You
lesson
could
in the
spell.
show today.
You could
but
spell, but I got a little international on me, right?
versatility, I guess.
Yeah, take that.
Show versatility, I guess.
Wow.
Men of many talents.
Wow.
Keep going.
But no,
So-
please stop with the false equivalence. Stop it. Standard is fucking. He's good, and Wilson isn't. Andrew.
My hate's going to go to Patrick Mahomes. And the reason it's going to go to Patrick Mahomes is because he's projecting. At the end of the game, he's shaking Josh Allen's hand. He's like, that's a bullshit-ass call. I can't believe that's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not, hey, good game, Josh Allen, or hey, hard-fought game. It's that bullshit. And it's like, Patrick, Kadarius Toney literally cost you 2 games this year. This isn't a joke. His existence on the field cost you 2 games this year. 2. Marquez Valdes-Scantling cost you another game this year. So that's 3. And I'm pretty sure receivers probably cost them the other 2 games as well, being as inefficient as they are. So why the fuck are you blaming the rest? And why are you projecting this on Josh Allen? Josh Allen's trying to shake. He's had a big win. He saves Sean McDermott from more slander because he criticized.
I mean, I could answer that question if you're actually looking for an answer to it.
Sure, right quick.
Because he can't say his receivers stink. Like if you mad at your girl at home and you go out on the street and start taking that out on coworkers, I'm not suggesting that you do it. I'm not saying it's good, but you could say shit to Jake at the job that you ain't gonna say to your baby moms or your girl or whatever at home. So it's like that's what it is. He can't come out to the press and be like, Kadarius Toney is a 2-pack of ass. He can't say that. He might think it. He can't say it. So that's why all of it is now at the refs.
Like he has to be thinking at this point because it's like, dude,
he has eyes that work, right? Like, yeah, of course he's fucking thinking that shit. Yeah,
bro.
And it's like
there was a lot of anger that game, Jude. Like Chris Jones was yelling at whatever coach he was.
Yeah, they were.
He was. I mean, I try to read lips, but he clearly said, "Take your unit out."
Right. He said,
your unit out.
Yeah.
Not. I was like, oh shit. So
yeah, he was mad as hell. Then the position coach slammed the surface.
Yeah, and then Patrick Mahomes is slamming his helmet, and it's like the Bills are ready to fall apart at any moment now. Their story came out of their coach talking about Al Qaeda and all that shit, and it's like,
oh my god, we didn't talk about that.
They're ready to fall apart. They're like 2 losses away from falling apart.
We didn't talk about that. That's our bad.
I mean, it's crazy to think about, and then all that, and you're the receiver, and he's not like he's a little bit offside. He's maybe like what, half a yard offside. It's like
his head was over the line of scrimmage.
I will say this. I think Dan Orlovsky had the best and fairest point about this. The player was at fault, and the referees were at fault. Not for that play in particular. Toney had lined up in a similar way like 8 other times in the game, and if you look at the footage, nobody said anything. That is on the referees. Like either you got to call it or you got to say something. If you call it once, I'm assuming they'll figure it out. You didn't call it at all until that play. Of course they're going to be upset about that shit. Now they did a lot of heavy duty ass whining. Not going to sit here and act like they didn't, but it's not just about Toney and it's not just about the Chiefs. Like the referees dropped the ball too. Everybody dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But Kev, didn't the Chiefs also get away with the offensive lineman moving back in motion for like a couple of games?
Yes.
Too?
No.
Yeah.
They got away with a lot.
He was lined up the right tackle.
Right tackle. He kept moving before
he was lined up illegally on that fucking play. Like like 2 people were lined up illegally on the same fucking play.
They say
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, get mad at Kadarius Toney for existing, but Josh Allen just had the biggest game of his life, and he's like, yeah, bro.
That's not the biggest game of his life.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, it was one of the bigger games of his life.
It wasn't.
Bro, they were up.
Josh Allen has played in the playoffs like 4 times. No, it was not.
Bro, they were up 14-0, and they almost folded. It was
not one of the biggest games of his career. So
are you surprised? Are you
Stop.
surprised they almost folded? Because their coach gets, from what I've heard, reading the article, the coach gets a little bit of a tight sphincter when the games get nice and close.
You
The
could tell. You
sphincter
could.
starts-
I could have told you that before even knowing that officially. I could have told you that. Like he coaches. He coaches a tight ass brand of football. He does.
Bro,
Yes.
we didn't talk about it, but Kev, go ahead, Kev. You have any hate?
Oh yeah. This is about Steve Cohen. Now,
Oh,
I don't like baseball, basketball. I just don't like billionaires in general. So like, this is not like exclusive to him. Well, it is exclusive to him, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not about him specifically and individually. The writers that do all of this beef riding and fucking water carrying for this dude and have been doing this for 3 years are fucking insane. I've been hearing for 3 years, nobody's gonna outbid Uncle Steve, and they call him Uncle Steve, mind you, which is outrageous. Nobody's gonna outbid Uncle Steve, and Uncle Steve gets what Uncle Steve wants, and this, that, and the third. And like I've watched it, I've looked at it, and I've largely been like, whatever, because I don't have a problem with the Mets, and like I get it. People like to bootlick billionaires. This is not new, okay? So I've largely ignored it, right? Then Saturday, the Shohei Ohtani piece news drops. And I saw 3 different Mets-related outlets on some like, oh, you know, Steve didn't want to go there with Shohei Ohtani. We do not have to make Shohei Ohtani telling Steve Cohen and the Mets to pound sand. Some referendum on Steve Cohen being fiscally fucking responsible. Shohei didn't want to be there. You know how I know he didn't want to be there? He told the Yankees to fucking pound sand 6 years ago. They play in the same fucking state. They play in the same state. Stop. They play in the same fucking state. Stop. No, this is not going to be fucking responsible. If Shohei fucking called them and said, yo, I will sign for exactly what the Dodgers have on the offer, you think Steve is going to be like, no, I can't do that. I got to be fiscally responsible. No, stop. No. Listen, Steve, eventually, like if the Mets build a better culture and have some long-term sustained success, they're going to be a great free agent destination. As of now, they're not. I'm not saying it can't change. As of now, they're fucking not, right? They don't have the legacy for all of that, and they don't have the current core of winning for all of that. But fuck all of that. Stop. We don't have to do this. Steve is good for the game. Anybody who cares that much about their team winning and will spend, I will vouch for them being good for the game. We don't have to ride his dick like this for everything he does or does not do. We really fucking don't. You tried to make not signing Shohei Ohtani into a financial literacy. Are you out of your fucking minds? Seriously. Knock it off, bro. Like, how shameless. Bring back shame. It's about to be Christmas, bro. Go find that shit. It's in aisle 7 at Walmart. Bring back shame. Bring back shame. Because it can't be this. It can't, like, I saw this from multiple, like, oh, Steve probably didn't want to do that. He didn't want to go there with Shohei. It was smart for the Mets that he didn't. And it's like, if he came, bro, can you imagine how fast Steve Cohen would say yes if Shohei called him like, yo, I'll sign for this right now. Bro, Steve would have to put the phone down out of excitement before even answering him like, yes, let's go ahead. And I'm even saying like whether the Mets, I think the idea that your baseball team shouldn't sign Shohei Ohtani or it's not smart for them to do it is fucking lunacy, but that's beside the point. Steve Cohen not signing Shohei Ohtani was Shohei Ohtani telling him to fuck off. Politely. Telling him and the Mets to fuck off. It was nothing else, and we do not have to do this every time somebody spurns the Mets, because all the Mets have done since Steve has gotten there has got old dudes. That's all they've done. They've gotten fucking old and overpaid old dudes. That's all he's fucking done. And I'm not even saying this as slander to him. They made the playoffs, whatever, the first year he was there. They made the playoffs. They had a nice little run, whatever. Last year didn't go their way. They made, to me, smart moves at the deadline, getting good prospects and paying for them. Good. I'm not knocking anything about Steve Cohen's process. Stop dick riding. Like, that's all I'm asking. Stop. Or at least to this level. Please, stand up. Stand up. Stand up, bro. Please.
Oh man, that was yo. Listen, man, that's my favorite portion of the show. My favorite portion of the show. Definitely hating on people. But also my other favorite portion of the show. It's been a long time since I've been live for this.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Jude's Grooves.
It's time for the groovy one. Dude, what are we grooving on tonight?
This is a song by Dan. I forgot what it's called, but it's a song
not
by
Dan.
Dan? No, certainly not by Dan.
Not by Dan. But
we couldn't read nothing written by Dan on this show. I know we've read some wild shit, but could you imagine how wild a Dan written song would be? That shit would make Play look like church tapes.
If we had monetization, we'd be demonetized.
Yeah. So here we go. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge, Bon Voyage. Yeah, from the home of the Dodger Brooklyn squad. Wu-Tang Killer, bees on a swarm. Rain on your college-ass disco dorm. For you to even touch my skill, you got to put the one killer bee and he ain't gonna kill. Now chop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard, quick cement to the ground. For any MC in any 52 states, I get psycho killer, Norman Bates. My producer slammed my flows like bam. Jump on stage, then I dip down. I like the way you talk. Oh baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby.
Enunciate a little bit. Say it a little slower, man. Enunciate a little.
Oh baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
It's not
shimmy, 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 Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on a natural charge, Bon Voyage. Yeah, from the home of the Dodger Brooklyn squad. Wu-Tang, killer bees on a swarm. Rain on your college-ass disco dorm. Free team and touch my skill. You got to put the one killer bee and he ain't gonna kill. Now chop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard, quick cement to the ground. For any MC in any 52 states, I get psycho killer, Norman Bates. My producer slam my flow, it's like bam. Jump on the stage, then I dip down. I like the way you talk. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Shimmy, yeah. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah. Shimmy, yeah. Shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. I kind of wish someone took this guy's pen away because I don't know.
No. Listen. Nope. Wu-Tang beats niggas up. Shout out to the Wu-Tang. Sorry.
I didn't mean to say that.
Rest in peace, ODB. RZA, Raekwon, Ghost. All of y'all, we not doing that, Jude. Shut up. It's bad enough that you.
I don't mind them beating Jude up. So if you want to beat Jude up,
they gonna fuck all us. They gonna fuck all of us up.
They're not gonna fuck me because I'm not gonna be around. I'm not gonna be there.
Birdman style. Put some respect on my name. One of y'all. 1, 2, 3 of y'all.
I'm not gonna be there.
Yo, Method Man's Jets fan. Chill out. Chill.
Sorry. It's a great song.
This nigga said he's no. Don't. No.
And he said,
no.
Thanks.
We gotta cut your mic right there. Don't do that.
Please.
Oh shit, yo. If you made it this far into the show, we've come to a conclusion. Shout out to my boy Kev, KLEW24. Shout out to my main man Jude Truth. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at MyPod69. Make sure you subscribe to us on TikTok at middle_initial_pod on TikTok. Hit that like, hit that share. Please don't be a hater. You know what I mean? Doesn't make us greater. Don't be a motherfucking hater. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'll be back more often. And shout out to our new additions to the show. Before I go, this is episode 150. I should have made a bigger deal 150 episodes under the belt. As always, thank you, Kev. Thank you, Jude. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for every listener out there, everybody who messes with us and fucks with us. We have 3 new additions to the Ascension Podcast Network. We have Joel Metz holding us down in the Discord. Shout out to Joel Metz. Joel's been holding us down in the gambling portion. He's cashing out. Day 2 cashed out. He might cash it on day 3. Looking good right now. So if you want some extra chicken, like Joel say, you want that rent money, that Christmas money, hop up in that Discord. You know what I mean? We got 2 new hosts for in my pod Black Diamond, which will be back 2024, just in time for spring. We got Maddie Trainer, and we got Hugo. They're gonna be holding that down under the guise of myself and Kev for that new show. So be on the lookout for our new baseball show in the spring. Kev is already doing baseball with Underdog Fantasy, so we decided to give him a break and let him, do his own Thug Thizzle, his own show. Make sure you listen to that show.
I will still have a hand in production, goddammit, because why not?
He's definitely going to be.
Yeah, I'll have a hand. I'll be behind the scenes more than in front of the camera. So
so Kev still be handling the content and expanding his production branch for the MR Pod Black Diamond segment. So a lot of good things, but 150 episodes. Salute to you guys, the fans, for subscribing and listening. Like I said, you made it this far to the show. We appreciate you. Goodbye for now. Stay sponsored by 69. Peace.